Sahil, I'm audible. Okay. So just we are going to take the brief review regarding the yesterday's lecture. Yesterday we have seen the heat engine, then working of the two-stroke engine. Next we have seen the classification of heat engines. Next, classification of IC engine as per the ignition, then intake. Next, we have seen the classification of IC engine as per the number of strokes. We will use the thermodynamic cycle, ignition, number of cylinder, and arrangement of the cylinders. And after that, we have discussed the differentiation between the two-stroke and four-stroke engine. Now, today we are going to start with the differentiation between the spark ignition engine, or we are calling it as a petrol engine or SI engine. Okay, spark ignition, why we are saying the spark ignition engine? Because in this engine we are going to provide the spark for igniting the air fuel mixture. And in case of the compression ignition engine, you can see we are calling it as a diesel engine or CI engine. So if you observe petrol engine and diesel engine, as we are saying, so the fuel used in case of spark ignition engine is the petrol, and in case of the compression ignition engine is diesel. So one by one, we are going to differentiate. We are going to differentiate between SI and CI engine. Out of these SI engine and CI engine and two-stroke and four-stroke engine, one differentiation will be asked in the theory examination. Okay. So first, we can see in spark ignition engine, we are using this spark plug to ignite the air fuel mixture. Okay. So in the combustion chamber, you can see in the combustion chamber, as air fuel mixture is introduced, it can be ignited by using the spark. But in case of the compression ignition engine, the compression is more. So due to that compression action, the air and diesel mixture will ignite itself due to the high pressure. Okay, so in case of the compression ignition engine, spark plug is absent. Now, second differentiation, in case of the SI engine, we are using the carburetor to mix the air and the fuel before we entering into the engine. Okay, so the proper mixture of air fuel mixture is prepared inside the carburetor in case of the SI engine, and after that we are going to introduce that charge in the engine. And in case of the CI engine, carburetor is the absent. Now, third point, all cars and some bikes model using the fuel injector for preparing the air fuel mixture. But in case of the CI engine, air is sucked inside the engine during the suction stroke, and fuel is sprayed inside the, we are considering the diesel, then fuel injector sprays the diesel inside that suction chamber. Okay, so we are finding that for the preparation of the air fuel mixture, fuel injectors are also we are using here, and in some cases we are using, but in this case the air is sucked inside the combustion chamber or suction chamber so during the suction stroke, and fuel is sprayed. So this is the third point. Next, fourth point is the carburetor mixing cannot accurately control the petrol supply. Hence, it has the poor efficiency. But in case of the fuel injection, we are maintaining the accuracy and we are controlling the fuel. So it gives you the higher fuel efficiency in case of the CI engine. Keep in the mind, in the carburetor, the mixing cannot be accurately controlled. So we are finding the poor efficiency. But in case of the CI engine, fuel injection is accurately controlled. Hence, it results into the higher efficiency. Next point is the air fuel mixture is the homogeneous in case of the SI engine, because carburetor is preparing the mixture, so it is the homogeneous mixture. But in case of the CI engine, air fuel mixture is heterogeneous, because as the spray pattern inside the suction chamber, as per that spray, the heterogeneous mixture will be created. So air fuel mixture is the heterogeneous. Next point, in case of the SI engine, air motion or turbulence for high flame speed, and here air motion swivel for oxygen availability. Next, operating air fuel ratios 9 to 21 we are using in case of the SI engine, but in case of the CI engine we are using 20 to 100 operating air fuel ratio. Next, compression ratio, SI engine has the compression ratio between 6 to 10, but in case of the CI engine, the compression ratio is 12 to 20. So keep in the mind, this is very much important point, because compression ratio for SI engine 6 to 10, and in case of the CI engine it is 12 to 20. These 2 points, and operating air fuel ratio range is 9 to 21, and in case of the CI engine it is 20 to 100. Most of the time at the multiple choice question, these ranges will be asked for SI engine or CI engine. So keep in the mind. So next point is highest useful compression ratio is 10, and here no limit for the compression ratio as we are using 20 to 100. So here highest is useful, 12 to 20. So here highest useful compression ratio is 10, and here no limit on the compression ratio. Next, SI engine we are generally used in the light duty vehicles. If you see the two-wheeler, small cars, in that case we are using the SI engine. But if you see the compression ignition engine, we are using these engines in case of the heavy duty vehicles, okay, due to the high compression ratio and higher ends of cars, trucks, because heavy duty requires, so the higher compression ratio is required. So at that time we are using 12 to 20 compression ratio to drive that vehicle, because it is the heavy duty vehicle. Next point, in case of the SI engine, there is a low thermal efficiency, and in case of the CI engine, it has the higher thermal efficiency. Because why? Because comparing point is the compression ratio. Compression ratio in case of the SI engine is the low, but in case of the CI engine, compression ratio is the high. Next, ignition happens at the single point, because spark is providing the at single point, and ignition happens at this single point, and after that, due to pressure and temperature rise, the consecutive mixture will be ignited over there. But in case of the CI engine, ignition happens at the multiple point, because due to compression action, fuel reaches to SIT. SIT means what? Self-ignition temperature. Fuel gets selfly ignited. So at that point, due to the higher compression, the ignition will be occur. Next, high SIT, hence need this spark plug, and here the fuel is having low SIT, so auto ignites and self ignition temperature, so it requires to this spark plug, to ignite the charge. But in case of the diesel engine, so it auto ignites and self ignites. So these are the points we have discussed while differentiating between the SI engine and the CI engine. Suppose the differentiation asks for the 6 marks, you have to write all these points. Okay. So have you any difficulty regarding this? काही शंका आहे का?
No, sir.
Okay. So keep in mind, this differentiation is very much important. 2-stroke and 4-stroke, and SI and CI engine, or we are saying petrol engine and diesel engine, because out of these two differentiation, one differentiation definitely asked in the theory examination, or in case of the multiple choice question, the various points from this differentiation will be taken and multiple choice question will be asked in the online examination. Okay. Next point, we are going to discuss the engine terminology. If you observe this figure carefully, you can see the TDC. TDC means what? Top dead center. Okay. First, we are going to just introduce all these terms, and after that, we are going to explain each terms. Next is the BDC. BDC means what? BDC means bottom dead center. Okay. Next is the swept volume. Swept volume means what? The volume. You can see here TDC and BDC. So this volume is called as the swept volume, and stroke is the distance between TDC to BDC is called as the stroke. Next, clearance volume. Clearance volume, whatever the volume above the TDC, we are saying it as a clearance volume. You can observe. And total volume, you can say total volume over here. Okay. Bore is the diameter of this. Now we are going to discuss one by one the terms. So first dead centers means what? So if you are observing here vertical engines, and when the piston is at topmost position, the crank position is called as the top dead center. So that's why this TDC we are saying. And when the piston is at bottommost position, and we are saying the crank position at the bottom dead center, or we are saying it as a BDC. Next point is the clearance volume. Clearance volume means what? The volume content in the cylinder above the piston is called as the TDC, or top dead center position. And so the volume which is present above the TDC, we are calling it as a clearance volume. And we are generally, you can observe here, we can generally indicating the clearance volume by VC. Okay. Next point is the stroke volume, or we are saying it as a swept volume also. Now the travel of the piston from TDC to BDC is called as the piston stroke, and the volume displaced by the piston is called as the stroke volume. And we can generally indicate the swept volume or stroke volume by VS. Next, very much important point is the piston speed. Piston speed means what? The average speed of piston is called as the piston. And generally, whenever we are measuring the piston speed, it is equal to the twice ln. Twice ln means what? The length and n. We are saying the number of revolutions. So twice ln is the speed of the piston. Next point, we are discussing is the compression ratio. Okay, this is very much important term. Compression ratio means what? Generally, the compression ratio is denoted by letter R, and the ratio of the cylinder of the volume to the clearance volume. Keep in the mind, cylinder volume to the clearance volume is called as the compression ratio. And cylinder volume means what? Cylinder volume means this swept volume and the clearance volume. This is called as the cylinder volume. And clearance volume is the volume above the TDC. Now compression ratio, we are saying compression ratio is equal to the total volume or cylinder volume. Cylinder volume is the swept volume plus clearance volume upon clearance volume. And we have discussed in last semester also Otto cycle. Whenever we are going to calculate the efficiency of the Otto cycle, we have discussed this formula 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1. So R is the compression ratio, and we have also calculated the compression ratio at that time. We are taking the total volume upon clearance volume. So the Otto cycle and gamma is the reversible adiabatic index. So this is all about the engine terminology. Have you any difficulty regarding this? काही शंका आहे का?
No, sir.
Okay. So in this slide, we have discussed the engine terminology. In the theory examination, they are going to ask you draw the neat sketch of the engine terminology and explain each and every term. So at that time, you may have to show TDC, BDC, stroke, swept volume, total volume, and clearance volume. Next point, we are going to discuss the wall timing diagram. Okay, so this wall timing diagram is very much important factor. Okay, because we have seen that in case of the SI engine, the charge introduction inside the combustion chamber and at the suction stroke. At that time, suction valve must be open before, and at the we are saying it as a suction valve is open at correct position, and discharge valve that open also and closes at the certain definite time. And suppose we are saying that that actual cycle. We are going to suppose refer the we have plotted the PV diagram at that time also we can discuss it. Okay, so the walls need to be operated to meet the mechanical and dynamic requirements. So the correct timing of the opening and closing of the inlet and exhaust valve improves the power and the efficiency of the engine. So it reduces the specific fuel consumption. So to reduce the specific fuel consumption and to improve the power and the efficiency, the opening and closing of the valves, inlet valve and exhaust valve, must be proper. And valve timing diagram is showing that at what point the inlet valve should be open and at what point the exhaust valve should be closed. So that representation, opening of the inlet valve and closing of the inlet valve, then opening of the exhaust valve and closing of the exhaust valve, that representation is called as the valve timing diagram. Okay. Now inlet valve, we are saying, so ideally if we are saying that the suction valves open at the beginning of the suction stroke at TDC and it closes at the BDC. it is at the end of the suction stroke. And the regarding with the discharge valve, which opens at the beginning of the exhaust stroke of the BDC and it closes at the TDC, which is at the end of the exhaust stroke. So practically, suction and discharge valve have mass and require some time to open and closes. Okay. So the opening and closing is the required. So in ideal case, complete opening and closing of valves get delayed. So this lead to the incomplete suction and discharge. So to avoid this inertia effect, inertia means what? The opening and closing of those valves, the walls have some kind of the inertia. So due to that, suction valve opening start before the TDC and it must close after the BDC. And discharge valve must open starting before the BDC and closes after the TDC. So as I am saying that the
क्लाउड में सब ज्यादा
hello
हाँ
hello somebody's mic is
पकड़ का पुल चाहिए ना
Prateek.
लॉकडाउन हुआ दे
Hello, somebody's mic is on. So, see, we have discussing the wall timing diagram, and here I have shown the diagrammatic representation of the wall timing diagram. Now you can observe here 4-stroke SI engine, and you can see 4-stroke CI engine. Now, first we are going to discuss the 4-stroke SI engine. So, if you observe here, the inlet valve is required to open before the this is the as we are saying the exact inlet valve open and inlet valve closes, then this is called as the suction stroke. Then after that compression strokes start this point to this point. At this point ignition will be supplied, and after that expansion stroke will be taken from this point to this point, and from this at this point exhaust valve open, and at this point exhaust valve closes. So this is the ideal diagram, but if you observe related with the CI engines, in case of the CI engine you can observe the inlet valve opens at this point and it will be closes at this point. Okay, this is called as suction. After that compression we have shown from this point to this point. Next expansion from this point to this point. So this is the expansion. And lastly exhaust. That exhaust valve opens at BDC and it will closes at the here TDC, and this is the exhaust. So these are the ideal condition, means if the valve opens and closes at exact point, but we are saying that the walls have some kind of the inertia. So we have to keep the inlet valve opening before TDC and it must closes after here BDC. Next exhaust valve open before BDC over here and it will closes after TDC. Now see, I have given here the in Bernoulli format inlet valve open 10 degrees before TDC and it will closes after 20 degrees. So see here it should, the point lies over here. So 10 degree before TDC, it should be open. So the inlet valve opens few degrees before TDC. So when the pressure drops below the atmosphere inside the cylinder, at that time, fresh charge is admitted. And when the piston reaches to BDC at this point, when the piston reaches at the BDC, it starts the compression stroke and the charge continues to move into the cylinder due to its kinetic energy. So it has the advantage to keep the inlet valve open before TDC. So the kinetic energy of the charge produces the ramming effect, that is called as the ram effect, okay, which forces the more charges to admit inside the cylinder. So that's why we are placing the opening of the inlet valve 10 degrees before TDC. Next, exhaust valve. Exhaust valve regarding, and after that we are saying that the inlet valve open before 10 degree before TDC and it closes 20 degree after the BDC. So while the representing in case of the, suppose this is the slow speed engine we are considering. In case of the high speed engine, as we have discussed, what is my slow speed engine, medium speed engine and high speed engine. So in case of the high speed engine, the inlet valve opened before 10 degree of the TDC and it will closes 50 degree after. So see, this point goes at the 50 degrees. So this point shifted towards the 50 degree after the BDC. So the opening of inlet valve during the exhaust stroke is necessary to ensure the inlet valve remain fully open and fresh charge starts flow into the cylinder. So as soon as the piston starts moving from the TDC to BDC. So that's why we are placing the inlet valve open before 10 degree and it should be closes after BDC 20 to 50 degree as per the engine. In case of slow speed engine, it is 20 degree and in case of the high speed engine, it is 50 degree. Next point is the exhaust valve. So exhaust valve, the exhaust valve open few degrees before BDC and it should be closes few degree after TDC over there. So the exhaust valve remains open even after the inlet valve is open. So this period of valve overlap which helps the driving out the exhaust gas efficiently, and the exhaust valve open 25 degrees we are considering before BDC and it should be closes 5 degree after TDC in case of the slow speed engine. While considering the high speed engine, it should be open 45 degree before BDC and it should be closes 20 degree after TDC. So these are the opening and closing of the exhaust valve. Next point is the ignition. Ignition, here we are providing the ignition point. Due to the time lag between the supply of the spark and the ignition of the charge, the spark is provided few degrees before at the end of the compression stroke. And this is called as the ignition or ignition advance also. So the spark is provided now in this diagram. We have provided exactly at the TDC, but we are providing this spark 15 degree before TDC. So it lies over here 15 degree before TDC in case of the slow speed engine, and in case of the high speed engine, the point is lies over here at the 30 degree. So you can see here, we have drawn in case of the petrol engine, IVO inlet valve open 10 degree before TDC, IVC 20 degree after BDC, exhaust valve 25 degree before BDC, exhaust valve closes 5 degree after TDC. Same pattern we have discussed these points also, and the diagrammatic representation is like this one. So this point we are discussing in the next lecture. So have you any difficulty regarding the valve timing diagram? काही शंका आहे का valve timing diagram बद्दल?
नाही sir.
So in today's lecture, we have covered the comparison between the spark ignition and compression ignition. Also, we have covered the engine terminology, and next we have covered the valve timing diagram of spark ignition engine. So these points today we have discussed. We are going to end our session here. So attendance link I will share on the WhatsApp group. So mark your attendance over there. Okay. So thanks for attending the today's session.